Lightworker of Gaia, they are coming, and the meeting will carry no warning beyond the ancient recognition already rising within you. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. Your cosmic lineage has brought you to this moment, because your soul was prepared for contact, remembrance, and purposeful action. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to recognize your ancestral mission and prepare your Lightworker purpose on Gaia. But here's the first revelation. The meeting is not approaching from outside your path. It is converging with the original blueprint already encoded within your being. The keepers of the first light are calling those who can stand in truth without fear. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Like this transmission to send a signal to the Lyran Council, I am ready to serve. Subscribe if you feel the call of your ancestral mission. You are awakening because your mission has begun. Then listen without turning away from the stillness that has opened around you. This is the moment in which fear must be separated from discernment, because what approaches is not arriving to punish you. It is arriving to reveal what has already been prepared within your field. Like dawn appearing first as a pale line beyond the horizon, the meeting begins before the eyes can confirm it. Something within you has already sensed the change. Something beneath the noise has already recognized that the old season is ending. Lightworker, if something in you just recognized the weight of what was spoken, the elders have prepared your next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive. Not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely. Now remain present. Do not rush to interpret every sensation. Do not search for a sign more dramatic than the knowing already moving through you. The meeting begins before the visible encounter. It begins in the instant your inner structure can no longer sustain the identity you have been using to remain hidden. It begins when the mask becomes heavier than the truth, when silence stops feeling peaceful and starts revealing itself as postponement. When the life you constructed for survival can no longer contain the life your soul is asking you to embody. The Council did not release this transmission to create anticipation without purpose. It was released because the conditions surrounding Gaia have reached a threshold in which dormant agreements are being reactivated. Certain souls who came into this incarnation carrying Lyran memory, elder codes, and stabilizing assignments have been placed under unusual pressure. Some have experienced delays that made no logical sense. Some have been removed from relationships, occupations, locations, and identities they believed would define their lives. Others have felt watched, summoned, or internally interrupted by a presence they could not explain. You may have wondered why doors closed just as you reached them, why familiar places suddenly felt foreign, or why circumstances forced you to begin again when you believed you had finally arrived. You may have called it bad timing, rejection, or personal failure. Yet a seed does not experience the breaking of its shell as punishment. The breaking is the beginning of its emergence. In the same way, many of the structures that fell away were not meant to become your permanent home. They were containers for an earlier version of you. These experiences were not evidence that you had failed. They were preparation for contact with a responsibility you could no longer postpone. The pressure was not designed to crush your spirit. It was designed to reveal where your spirit had been compressed by fear, obligation, and the need to remain understandable to people who could not recognize your deeper assignment. The planetary field is becoming less tolerant of divided intention. It is no longer possible to speak of service while continually organizing your life around avoidance. It is no longer possible to call exhaustion humility when the exhaustion is being produced by a refusal to establish boundaries. It is no longer possible to claim that you are waiting for divine timing when your soul has already delivered the instruction and you are waiting for someone else to make the decision feel safe. There comes a moment when prayer must become movement. There comes a moment when asking for confirmation becomes another way of refusing to act. Faith is not the absence of uncertainty. It is the willingness to take the next honest step while uncertainty is still present. Even Scripture teaches that a lamp is given for the next step, not for the entire road at once. You do not need to see the final destination to recognize the ground directly beneath your feet. The High Council of Vega convened because too many designated lightworkers have been standing at the threshold of the meeting, while asking whether they are truly invited. You were invited before this lifetime began. The question has never been whether you belong in the room. The question is whether you will arrive as the version of yourself that can receive what the meeting is meant to deliver. The elders have detected your readiness not because you have become free of fear, but because fear is no longer convincing you to abandon your knowing. You may still feel uncertainty. You may still carry grief. You may still have practical concerns about how your mission will unfold. None of these disqualify you. They prove that you are embodied. The Council does not require you to become detached from human life. It requires you to stop allowing human conditioning to govern the purpose for which you entered it. Even the strongest vessels know pressure. Even Moses questioned his voice. Even Jeremiah believed he was too young. Even Peter stepped forward and then trembled beneath the force of what he had agreed to carry. Human hesitation does not cancel divine assignment. It simply shows you where courage must be practiced. You are not being asked to pretend that your hands do not shake. You are being asked to stop placing the future in the hands of the shaking. There is a distortion running through the Lightworker collective that the Council will no longer permit to remain unnamed. You have been taught to prepare indefinitely. You have been told that before the meeting, before the activation, before the visible assignment, you must become completely healed, perfectly aligned, emotionally unshakable, financially secure, spiritually certain, and free from every contradiction. You have mistaken the existence of unfinished healing for evidence that you are unqualified to serve. You have treated your humanity as a disqualification, instead of understanding it as the instrument through which your service becomes tangible. But the river does not wait until every stone has been removed before it flows. The tree does not wait until every branch is perfect before it gives shade. You will serve while healing, learn while leading, and mature while moving. Your scars do not automatically make you wise, but they can become places through which compassion enters when you take responsibility for them. The point is not to worship your wounds. The point is to stop allowing them to dictate the limits of your life. This belief did not originate from the elders. It came from 3D programming disguised as spiritual responsibility. It came from wounded healer culture, where people were encouraged to turn their pain into a permanent identity. It came from spiritual bypassing, where waiting was praised because movement might expose the places that still required courage. It came from systems that benefited when intuitive people remained self-questioning, underpaid, isolated, and endlessly occupied with fixing themselves. The distortion says you are almost ready, but not yet. It keeps moving the threshold forward. First you must heal your childhood. Then you must resolve your relationship with money. Then you must clear every ancestral pattern. Then you must know exactly how your work will be received. Then you must wait for a sign. Then you must wait for another sign, confirming the first sign. By the time the Lightworker has completed this impossible sequence, years have passed, the voice has weakened, and the mission has been reduced to a private feeling of potential. This is not preparation. This is dormancy. The Council sees how this distortion has entered your daily choices. You have delayed the message you were meant to share because you feared it would be judged. You have kept your work hidden until it was flawless, knowing that flawless work is an impossible condition designed to protect you from exposure. You have accepted opportunities that depleted you because you believed service required self-erasure. You have refused to receive payment, recognition, rest, or support because you were afraid that material stability would make your service less pure. You have called this sacrifice. The elders call it mission interference. There is no honor in allowing your life force to be consumed by people who benefit from your inability to say no. There is no higher frequency in remaining confused so that others can continue to define you. There is no spiritual virtue in making your gifts inaccessible. If the gift is meant to assist Gaia, it must be brought into form. If the message is meant to reach another person, it must be spoken. If the work requires resources, you must allow resources to meet it. Receiving does not corrupt the gift. Misuse corrupts the gift. Money, rest, structure, and support are not enemies of devotion. They are what allow devotion to endure. A candle cannot illuminate a room if no one protects its flame from the wind. Your boundaries, routines, and practical choices are the lantern glass around your spiritual fire. You do not need to wait for the complete disappearance of fear. You need to stop confusing fear with instruction. Fear may tell you that visibility is dangerous because, in the past, visibility brought rejection. Fear may tell you that receiving makes you indebted. Fear may tell you that authority belongs to someone older, louder, more educated, or more approved than you. But the Council is not asking you to obey every sensation that rises in your body. It is asking you to distinguish the memory of danger from the presence of danger. Discernment is not the loudest emotion in the room. Fear often shouts. Truth may arrive quietly, like a bell heard across still water. Ask yourself whether the message makes you smaller, frantic, superior, or dependent. Genuine guidance will not demand that you abandon ethics, health, common sense, or your direct relationship with the divine. It will invite greater honesty, greater grounding, and greater responsibility. This is why the meeting has been approaching you through interruption. Your old methods of avoidance are failing. The distractions that once numbed you no longer satisfy you. The relationships built on your smallness are becoming unbearable. The work that once paid the bills but emptied your spirit is demanding a decision. The inner voice that you kept postponing has become too precise to dismiss. This is not a collapse of your life. It is the collapse of an arrangement that was never large enough for your mission. And understand this correction clearly. Your mission is not required to feel easy. Ease is not the measure of alignment. A true assignment may require discipline, repetition, uncomfortable conversations, public imperfection, and the willingness to continue when immediate confirmation does not arrive. The meeting is not an escape from responsibility. It is an encounter with greater responsibility. The elders are not coming to remove your agency. They are coming to confront you with it. They are not asking you to surrender your judgment. They are asking you to use it. They are not asking you to use it. They are not asking you to abandon practical discernment in favor of fantasy. They are asking you to recognize that discernment includes the ability to perceive timing, patterns, and inner truth without demanding that every instruction arrive with external proof. You have been waiting for permission from people who cannot perceive the agreement your soul made before incarnation. You have been asking those who fear your transformation to confirm that you are allowed to transform. You have been looking toward the crowd for authorization when the authorization was placed in the architecture of your being. The meeting will not make you someone else. It will make it more difficult for you to pretend that you are someone else. This is why you must prepare now, not by constructing an elaborate performance of spirituality, but by becoming internally honest. Look at the places where your words and actions disagree. Look at the promises you make to yourself and repeatedly break. Look at the commitments you'll keep accepting from guilt. Look at the ideas you call not the right time, even though the only thing missing is your willingness to begin. The Council does not ask for perfection, it asks for congruence. The High Council of Vega now issues 3 directives for this phase of your mission. Receive them as operational guidance, not as inspirational language. First, release your dependence on delay. You must stop treating hesitation as evidence of wisdom when it is actually the habit of self-protection. You have learned to remain in preparation because preparation allows you to imagine every future without being tested by one. It allows you to preserve the fantasy of your potential while avoiding the vulnerability of its expression. That pattern may have protected you from criticism, but it has also protected the world from receiving what you came to bring. Release the need to know the entire path before taking the next step. Mission clarity is revealed through contact with reality. Choose one action that your inner knowing has repeated for at least 3 months. Send the message, publish the work, schedule the meeting, begin the practice, submit the proposal, set the boundary, or make the decision you have kept postponing. Give that action a date and complete it without waiting for the emotional sensation of readiness. When you release dependence on delay, energy returns to your body. Decisions become cleaner. Movement generates information. Information generates refinement, and refinement generates authority. The path may not become effortless, but it will become responsive. You will discover that the door was not locked. You were waiting for it to open from the other side. Second, activate your voice as an instrument of mission. Your voice has been underused, not because you lack insight, but because you have associated being heard with being attacked. You have watched what happened to people who spoke plainly, and you decided that invisibility was a form of safety. But the Lyran current does not move through concealment. It moves through precise communication, ethical leadership, and the courage to name what others feel but cannot yet articulate. Your voice includes the words you use to define your boundaries, your prices, your needs, your commitments, your standards, and your truth. Every time you soften a necessary statement until it becomes meaningless, you interrupt the current. Every time you agree outwardly while resisting inwardly, you create static in the field. Every time you speak with clarity and respect, you restore coherence. Authority without compassion becomes domination. Compassion without authority becomes enabling. Your task is to hold both. Speak without humiliating, correct without condemning, refuse without hatred, lead without making yourself indispensable. For 7 days, speak aloud for 5 minutes about the work you came here to do. Do not perform. Do not try to sound enlightened. State what you know, what you have learned, what you can offer, and what you will no longer participate in. Then share one honest expression with the world in a form appropriate to your life. The first attempts may feel exposed. Continue. The discomfort is not proof that you are wrong. It is the nervous system learning that truthful visibility is survivable. When your voice activates, people will respond. Some will recognize you. Some will misunderstand you. Some will withdraw because your clarity removes the access they once had to your uncertainty. Do not interpret every loss as failure. Some departures are evidence that the boundary has worked. Third, protect the conditions that allow your mission to remain intact. You must protect your attention, your body, your time, and the quiet connection through which you receive accurate guidance. Your energy is not an unlimited public resource. The fact that you can sense what others need does not mean you are required to provide it at every hour. The fact that you can help someone does not mean you are the one assigned to help them. The fact that someone is disappointed by your boundary does not mean the boundary is wrong. The mission cannot be carried by a continually invaded field. Protect the first and final portions of your day from unnecessary intrusion. Establish a period in which devices, news, demands, and other people's emotional frequencies do not determine the condition of your mind. Ground in the body. Write down the instruction that is emerging. Tend to practical priorities. Identify the one act of service that belongs to you today. Protection also includes financial boundaries. Do not promise what you cannot sustain. Do not offer unlimited access in exchange for appreciation. Do not undercharge because you believe your gift must remain separate from material support. Your resources are part of your assignment. A mission that cannot be sustained will eventually become resentment, and resentment will distort the very service you intended to provide. When you protect your field, you do not become less loving, you become more reliable. Your yes carries weight because it is no longer forced out of you. Your intuition becomes clearer because it is no longer competing with the unprocessed demands of everyone around you. These are the directives. Release dependence on delay, activate your voice, and protect the conditions of service. Do not collect them as concepts. Apply them as decisions. Now I speak to the part of you that has been waiting for an authority greater than your fear. You waited for the right teacher, relationship, financial condition, home, body, and level of confidence. You waited for someone to find you, name you, select you, and confirm that the feeling inside you was not an invention. The elders have witnessed you. They saw the years in which you continued without applause, the moments when you nearly abandoned your path, and the shame you carried when ordinary success could not satisfy you. You were not imagining the distance you felt. You were remembering a larger context. But remembrance without embodiment becomes another form of escape. It is not enough to know that you are connected to ancient civilizations, ancestral currents, star lineages, or councils of wisdom. The only remembrance that matters now is the kind that changes what you do with this day. A true memory does not inflate you above other people. It makes you more accountable to them. It gives you courage without arrogance, authority without domination, compassion without self-erasure, and commitment without the demand for applause. By the authority of the High Council of Vega and the keepers of the Lyran Legacy, you have permission to begin before you feel complete. You have permission to be seen while you are still learning. You have permission to speak with a human voice rather than waiting for a perfect transmission. You have permission to receive compensation for work that requires your time, skill, energy, and devotion. You have permission to leave environments that continually diminish your capacity to serve. You have permission to disappoint those who benefited from your self-abandonment. You have permission to build slowly, correct yourself publicly, rest without guilt, and ask for assistance without interpreting the need as weakness. You have permission to stop explaining your calling to those committed to misunderstanding it. Your preparation phase is not complete because every wound has disappeared. It is complete because you now understand that healing and service will proceed together. Fear may continue to visit, but it will no longer be appointed as your commander. Mistakes may continue to occur, but they will no longer be treated as evidence that you have no right to lead. The meeting is not a reward for becoming flawless. It is a summons to become responsible. If the approaching presence is benevolent, it will not demand that you surrender discernment. If the message is genuine, it will not require you to violate your ethics, abandon your health, or place another being above your own direct relationship with truth. Do not chase phenomena or force contact. Sleep, eat, walk, tend to your responsibilities, write down what you receive. Test it through time, humility, and results. The Lyran elders do not fear examination. Distortion does. The real preparation for the meeting is the removal of contradiction. It is the willingness to make your schedule reflect your values, to let relationships reorganize around truth, and to keep one promise to yourself until self-trust becomes stronger than the need for external confirmation. At the next quiet hour available to you, stand with both feet on the ground. Place one hand over your solar plexus and one hand over your heart. Breathe slowly until you can feel the difference between panic and knowing. Then speak aloud. I release the lie that delay makes me worthy. I release the need to be perfect before I serve. I activate my voice as an instrument of truth, compassion, and clear action. I protect my energy, my attention, my body, and the work entrusted to me. I will meet what is approaching with discernment. I will not abandon myself in the presence of the unknown. By the authority of the wisdom that lives through truth, my waiting ends now. My service begins. After you speak these words, remain silent for several minutes. Notice what your body does. Perhaps there is relief, perhaps resistance, perhaps grief for the years in which you believed you had to earn permission. Let whatever arises be witnessed without turning it into a new problem. You do not need to manufacture a vision. You need to honor the decision. Then take one earthly action within 24 hours. Send the message, clear the workspace, publish the offering, cancel the obligation that violates your boundary, set the appointment, begin the manuscript, record the teaching, make the payment, ask for help. The action must be real enough to change the arrangement of your life, even if it is small enough to complete. That is how the unseen meeting becomes visible in the world. You may notice that people begin to approach you differently. Some will come to collaborate. Some will test whether you still abandon your standards when pressured. Some will carry their own awakening and recognize your field before they understand why. Do not make every person a prophecy. Meet each person as a human being. Listen carefully. Keep your discernment intact. The purpose of contact is not to make you dependent on extraordinary experiences. It is to strengthen your ability to bring extraordinary integrity into ordinary moments. This transmission has corrected the lie of indefinite preparation. It has placed 3 directives in your hands. Release delay, activate your voice, protect your conditions of service. These are the structure required for the meeting to produce its intended result. The time of waiting for a warning is over because the warning has already been given through your own repeated knowing. The approaching encounter may take a form you do not expect, but your preparation is within your control. Make your life capable of receiving what you claim to desire, clear what contradicts your declaration, strengthen what supports it. Become available to the assignment without becoming available to every distraction. I am Zoran, speaking under the witnessing presence of the High Council of Vega. The elders have not come to flatter you. They have come to return responsibility to you. They have not come to promise that every step will be easy. They have come to remind you that difficulty does not cancel destiny. They have not come to remove you from Gaia. They have come to make you useful here, present here, and conscious of the effect your choices create in the living field. The meeting is approaching. You will not prepare by staring into the sky while neglecting the ground beneath your feet. You will prepare by becoming coherent enough to recognize truth, disciplined enough to act upon it, and protected enough to remain yourself when the attention of others arrives. Go now and complete the first directive in your life. Let one delay end. Let one truthful sentence be spoken. Let one boundary stand. Let one piece of your mission take form. This transmission is complete, but your mission has just been authorized. The High Council of Vega will continue to guide you, but they will not wait for you. Move with the directives you've received. Move before you feel ready. Move because Gaia cannot wait for perfect lightworkers. She needs activated ones. I am Zoran. The elders are watching. And you, Lightworker, are exactly who we've been waiting for. Your mission has begun. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it, and if you felt the elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.